Hello and welcome back to the channel. It is week 10 and I have something I want to get off my chest. Now this video is going to be another stream highlights video of me answering questions from my esteemed Twitch followers and subscribers. But before we get into it, I want to talk about one thing that they, and probably some of you guys do, that drives me nuts. I am more than happy to evaluate people's trades and help them with trades. That's what a fantasy football streamer, content creator, analyst, whatever you want to call me, that's what we do. I love it. But there is nothing that makes me want to bang my head against this wall more than when people ask about trades that involve basically their entire team. Hey Brand, I just traded Ezekiel Elliott, Alvin Kamara, Austin Eckler, and Devontae Adams for Jonathan Taylor, Joe Mixon, Najee Harris, and Cooper Kupp. You guys swapped your whole teams. I mean, what are you gonna do next? Swap girlfriends, sisters, spit? I don't know. What's the point here? I don't understand. Not only that, when it's that many players involved, I can't read it in the chat because it goes by so fast that I can't process all the names and you put my brain in a pretzel. But anyway, back to what matters. Here are my thoughts heading into week 10, including my evaluations on players, including Odell Beckham, Justin Jefferson, Aaron Jones, and plenty more. So give it a watch, and if you guys have any other questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I'll see you guys soon. Odell for T. Higgins. Odell for T. Higgins. That's a good one. I think I'd rather have Odell. That might sound crazy, but I don't know, man. Ooh, the upside of Odell is just so tempting in that Rams offense. I mean, look, they're both kind of similar assets at this point, right? They're both the number 2 receivers on their team in theory. We assume Odell is going to assume that role, right? While T. Higgins is also the same thing on the Bengals. He's the number 2 behind Jamar Chase. Nah, you know what? I'm not gonna let the hype get the best of me. I'd rather have T. Higgins, but Odell does excite me. I am excited for him for sure. James Conner or Dearness Johnson? I would start James Conner this week. I feel like his volume's a little more well, listen, we don't know that Nick Chubb's gonna be out yet, so ask me again on Sunday. Put it that way. How you feel about the Jokic hit? Bro, Markieff Morris had that coming, and you cannot tell me otherwise. Simply no way you can tell me otherwise. Should I trade Aaron Jones? Listen, guys, I'm more than happy to advise everybody and anybody on trades. But, like, if you're just going to come in and say, should I trade a player, without saying what you might want to get back, if you've gotten offers, what you need, I can't give you an answer to that. Like, am I going to trade? Am I actively trying to get Aaron Jones off my team for anything I can get? Absolutely not. But if somebody's overvaluing him a little bit, and, you know, we do realize now that he's a bit of a boom-bust play at this point, sure, you could trade him away. But 4K Brand W, absolutely. Bateman or Ayuk? I'd start Bateman, I think. How are you guys doing? I made a huge trade today, Mr. Brand. What did you do, Trick? Were you talking about it in the Discord? I don't remember. Talk about a player, Justin Jefferson. We had a channel point redemption from Joseph. Oh, man. Jefferson's an interesting one. I'll start off by saying I'm not worried about him necessarily. His production has been a little bit lacking of late. I think it's just sort of due to the Vikings themselves being out of sync. Their coaching has been questionable. The play calling has been questionable. But, you know, Jefferson you still have to start him in 99% of leagues unless you have some ridiculous options otherwise. But yeah, I mean, his production the last 3 weeks is kind of concerning. I mean, listen, 8 catches for 80 yards against the Panthers. You deal with that, especially in PPR. That's fine. He did fumble, though. 2 catches, 21 yards against the Cowboys. That can't happen on 4 targets. And then 3 catches for 69 yards on only 5 targets. I think the target number is where I'm a little concerned. You know, you look at the first few weeks, he had 9, 10, 11, 7, 8, 14. And then he goes to 4 and 5 the last 2 weeks. I personally think he's going to correct it. It won't stay like this the rest of the year. But it's definitely odd. I will say that much. Fanter Gasicki. Hey, Antigen with the 2 months. Thank you, bro. Is it time to stop? Oh, my God. Can you guys even hear me over this alert? I may have to quiet down the alerts. Let me know if you guys could actually hear me while I was talking over that. Is it time to stop starting Mike Williams? Listen, Mike Williams, I don't think is any longer a must start. Do I think it's time to bench him altogether? No, I don't think it's that dramatic. But he's unfortunately, I suspect he may be still dealing with an injury. I don't know. We know he was on the injury report with, I think, a hammy issue for a little bit. I've heard rumors he may be still fighting through it, which would make a lot of sense. He's definitely regressed, so not a must-start anymore. Forgive Peaks, thank you for the follow, man. What's up, everybody? If you're watching on TikTok, feel free to head over to the Twitch. I can see your questions a lot easier, as you can see up here. I'm trying to direct people there. Would appreciate it very much. Gaskin or D-Hop at flex? If D-Hop plays, I think I'd go with D-Hop, but you're making that decision tonight, which makes it a lot harder. Fournette or Connor? Fournette or Connor? Good question. Let me take a look, because it's two guys who are going to get the bulk of the work in their backfields, obviously. Fournette versus the football team, and Connor is against the Panthers. I think I'd lean Fournette. You know, Connor's going to be the trendy pick this week after that 40-point outing he just had, 40 points in PPR. But Lenny's been just reliable all year long. I think I'd go with him. He's in, at this point, a more reliable offense. You know, if Colt McCoy starts again for the Cardinals, I like Fournette just a little bit more there. Man, mods are on it right now. Let's see. Great job, guys. Thank you all for the follows. Stalling Rod with 10 bits says, should I trade DK for Robinson? I know he's worth a little more, but I have Adams, Allen, Godwin, OBJ. Want a running back behind Cook, Eckler, and Patterson. I don't think that's a bad deal. I understand where you're coming from with thinking he's worth a little bit more, but I don't think a fully healthy James Robinson, I think that deal is more than acceptable. And you're just hoping he gets healthy. Joseph, what was your question? I don't know if I answered it. I don't remember. I'm sorry. Do I drop Julio for Sammy Watkins or Brandon Ayuk or Bateman? I totally understand the frustration with Julio Jones. I don't know that I would drop him for any of those guys. I don't know that any of those guys are going to be more reliable than him. If you were to drop him for anybody, I would say Rashad Bateman's the guy. With that said, I'm very interested to see how Rashad Bateman does tonight with Sammy Watkins back in the mix. I can't imagine that the Ravens are going to shoehorn Watkins back into the mix here and like just take away all of Bateman's touches with how good Bateman has performed. But you never know. You never know how much he's going to chip into it, you know? Help me understand how I'm last in my league with Eckler, Mitchell, Carson, Carter, and Harris as my 5 running backs. E. Howard, because that's deep, but it's not the best running back core I've ever seen. I mean, listen, I would kill to have 5 serviceable running backs. That's no question. But after Eckler and Mitchell, you know, Carson's been hurt. Harris has been very, very touchdown dependent. It's nothing that I would look at that and be like, oh, this guy must be 9-0 or anything like that. Is Judy and Lockett for Hollywood Brown a good trade? I think that's reasonable. Yeah. It depends on your situation. If you need the depth, I would like the Judy and who did you say? Judy and Lockett side. I do think Lockett will be a little better with Russ coming back, obviously, but yeah, if you want just the more solidified one player, you go for Hollywood Brown. Simple. Devontae Smith orange? What? I traded Kamara for Devontae Adams. Is that fair? I already have Swift, Henderson, and Montgomery. Yeah, it's absolutely fair. It's one of the top running backs for arguably the top wide receiver. Gesicki or Hawkinson? I personally would go with Hawkinson, but I understand if you want to go with Gesicki. It's definitely close. What's up, Lampshank? You think I should start Waddle or Deontay this week? I would start Deontay Johnson this week. He's against the Lions. I mean, you can't really ask for a better defensive matchup than the Lions. And with Chase Claypool not looking great for Sunday, Deontay would be my guy there. Who likes iron? Should I start PPR, Renfro, Devontae Smith, Bateman? I think I'd go with Bateman. The Broncos are hurting at corner. Patrick Surtain is out. I'd go Smith there. Trying to trade for Swift, Mitchell, and Higgins, but I'm debating who to throw in the trade, Javonte, AB, and Jones/Montgomery. If you're choosing between Swift, Mitchell, and Higgins, you're trying to trade Javonte. Oh my God, that's such a crazy deal, man. I think I would rather have Aaron Jones the rest of the year than David Montgomery, but it's definitely close. If that's who you're thinking between. Should I start Bateman over Emmanuel Sanders at the flex? I don't think so. Hold on, let me check Sanders real quick. Nah, I would start Sanders over Bateman. Listen, I love Rashad Bateman, and I'm very excited to see what he does the rest of the year. I want to give it a week, this being that week, to see what happens with Sammy Watkins in the lineup. I'm not scared of Sammy Watkins, but it's the smart play to see, like, make sure that Bateman's workload isn't going to get cut in half. If I was a betting man, I'd say it won't, but we don't know for sure. Fantasy football has surprised me before. Is Robert Woods a good flex still with OBJ on the Rams? It's iffy, man. I don't know that I trust him anymore. I really don't. He's a risky flex for sure. Should I trade Mike Williams and James Conner for Justin Jefferson? I think that's a good deal for you, yeah. For sure.